Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, normally when you first see me, when I first appear after the opening credits and that, I'm normally beaming all over my face. There's a reason that I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm a little bit self-conscious. A quick story for you. Last weekend, I got this overwhelming urge to go and buy a packet of pork scratchings. I don't know why, I just really fancied a packet of pork scratchings. So I went and got one, sat there chomping on them, and broke a tooth. There it is. It's disappeared. I heard it go. I heard it crack. I checked it in the mirror. It was swinging about like a saloon door. So I had to wait for it to drop out, which it did about half an hour later on the carpet right in front of me. I hadn't got the balls to actually pull it out. I just wanted it to sort of drop out, and hopefully it wasn't going to do it while I was asleep and I was going to swallow the damn thing. So I was a little bit self-conscious about it when it first happened, but I'm really not bothered now. I was going to go dentist straight away, but it didn't hurt. It still doesn't hurt. It's just missing. MIA. So I will be going to the dentist with it probably sometime in January, something like that. My dentist is sort of all over the place at the moment, and I'm not basically in the mood to be making appointments and cancelling them and getting into any sort of a problem with them. So I'm going to live with it for a month or two. So just to get a couple of the obvious remarks out of the way first before you lot start is squeal piggy, that's one. Oh, you sure got a pretty mouth. That's another one. I look like something on the road to deliverance and that, but I can live with it. Any remarks you've got, throw them at me. Fuck it, I'm ready for you. So, oh God, right. Where do I start? Number of views. It's holding steady at around 100. I still don't understand this. I don't get why it's happening. I'm not bothered. I'm really happy with it. I just don't get how it's shot up from sort of 30 up to, as I said, it's holding steady at about 100. So yeah, really happy with that. So as I said last week, anybody that's taking a look or watching the videos that hasn't seen them before, welcome to the channel. Hope you like what we're doing here. Right, where to start? Comments on last week's video. I think we'll start with that like we always do. Scott, excellent video, Tony. Loved it, mate. Cheers, Scott. Last Night in Soho is amazing. One of my favourite horror films from the last few years, for sure. Glad you enjoyed it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's made me want to go on an Edgar Wright expedition to watch more of his movies. I've seen Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and the third one, The World's End, which I thought were all excellent. Don't they call them the Cornetto trilogy or something? I didn't know this. Somebody told me that a few weeks back. I'd never heard of it. But I've seen those. I've also seen his documentary on the Sparks Brothers, which was superb. There's two or three that I've not seen. One of them, is it Scott Pilgrim Saves the World or Conquers the World or something like that? I didn't realise he was behind that one. And there's two or three others that I've read about that I wouldn't mind taking a look at. But Last Night in Soho, absolutely superb. What else do you say, Scott? Here, X and Pearl are absolutely incredible. I highly recommend them. Hope you enjoy them. Thank you for the shout out as well. Really appreciate it. X and Pearl, two movies that I meant to take in weeks and weeks ago and never got round to it. I've heard great things about X. Pearl is one of those rare beasts that apparently the sequel is as good as, if not better, than the original, and there is a third instalment on the way. So, have you noticed I'm whistling through my teeth a lot? Somebody pointed that out to me last week. Are you aware you're doing it? I said, no, no idea. So, yeah, thanks for that, Scott. Jason K, our Ginger Ninja. Maybe it's the Aussie in me, but Mad Max is a national treasure. We were talking about the trailer for Furiosa last week, and you said, well, the first three are. I liked Fury Road, but it wasn't the same as the original trilogy. And Furiosa, I don't know. I'm not sold on it. There is something about the trailer, almost too CGI-ish or something, that makes the movie seem less grounded like the original films. Still, could be good, and I will be giving it a watch. Yeah, jury's out on this Furiosa. I do need to take another look at Fury Road, like I said last week. I wasn't overly taken with it the first time I watched it. It was okay, but it was nothing as special as I was led to believe it was. But maybe I watched it on the wrong day. I don't know. So I will be taking another look at it ahead of seeing Furiosa. Hopefully my opinion will have changed on that one. My favourite is still the original. It will always be the original, no matter how many sequels they bring out. I will always go back to the original Mad Max, because I remember going to see that at Burton Odeon. It would have been around about 1979, probably early 1980, and being absolutely blown away by the first 15 minutes. A bit like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you get to the end of the first sequence and it's like, fuck man, that was incredible. How the hell are they going to top that? And they did. So in both cases. So yeah, I will always go back to the original Mad Max, always. Glad you like the new additions to the collection. Maybe one day I will get around to watching them. Yeah, I have the same problem. I've got some new acquisitions here that I'm going to be showing off a bit later on. Two of them I will definitely be taking a look at sort of shortly. Others could sit on the shelf for a month or two or a year. We'll see how we go. Let's see what you got here. The next video will be out in January, and that's got a few gifts, eBay purchases, and of course Christmas gifts. Cracking vid, Tony. Keep it up. Cheers, Jason. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think we should all do a video of what we get for Christmas. I almost found out what I got the other night. I don't know what it was. I picked a carrier bag up to go around to Metro to pick a couple of bits up, and I emptied it out and a receipt dropped on the floor. I didn't realise what it was, picked it up, and it was an HMV receipt, so I presume it's what the carrier bag that Rob had used to get whatever he got from HMV for me. And I did see one of so I know I've got the flash. But the rest of them I sort of turned away, and I says, you want to do something with this, just put it away or hide it or something. So yeah, I think we should all do in January, not in January, Boxing Day maybe, a little video of what we've had for Christmas, because I love seeing what other people have had. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that done. Steve Mack, you're so right about Christmas TV, especially in the 70s. So many Christmas specials. Usually one for nearly every sitcom. Every single sitcom that was on TV had a Christmas special, and they were usually longer than the regular programmes. Some of them were feature length, as Jason said the other week, like Last of the Summer Wine. They were basically feature length movies. A lot of them were 40-45 minutes, some of them were an hour. And you know what, they held up. You sort of took a look at them and thought, is this going to be as good with it being a longer one? But they usually were, especially Steptoe, Are You Being Served? There were hundreds of them. So yeah, I do miss it. You quoted Mike Yarwood, Dave Allen, Two Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise, The Generation Game, and usually a panto on TV. Christmas TV, where do I even start? I need to do a video on this of my particular memories of Christmas TV in years gone past, and it will mostly concentrate on the 70s and possibly the early 80s, but I'll do something like that at some point. Not to mention Top of the Pops, just before the Queen's speech. I used to love Top of the Pops. It was usually on about 2 o'clock. As you say, the Queen's speech was at 3. And then straight after that, the whole family was ready to see Morecambe and Wise. Those were the days. They were the days, Steve. They were absolutely the days. We will never know the like of that kind of, TV again. Never, ever. And I know I sound like an old fart, like we probably all do when we start reminiscing about old Christmases and this, that together, but there was so much better. Jace, you put a post on this morning about you'd already picked up the Radio Times and there wasn't much in it. I don't doubt that, not for a second. For the past few years, I've picked up whichever one is out first. And I've sort of flicked through it and thought I might circle a few bits, and well, there's hardly anything on. And anything that is on that I want to watch is usually something old that I've not seen for many years. So it tends to be a repeat, but it's just not the same. Let's see. You go on to talk about EastEnders. I think it could be Keanu once Sharon finds out he was in on it, which I think has happened this week. She doesn't realise he's in on it yet. She thinks it's just Karen on her own. But yeah, that's an interesting one. We shall see. Let's see. Waiting on the Arrow 4K of the Warriors. Sadly, only out in the US. That is such a shame. I really, really want that version, but obviously there's no point in me importing it because I won't be able to play it. But to have an edition that has both the theatrical cut and the director's cut, which I didn't like, and it's the only one you can get nowadays. I just didn't like the comic book style of it. It reminded me too much of Creepshow, that kind of style. It just didn't fit the movie right, to me anyway. And quite frankly, I'm surprised Walter Hill went for it, because no, not for me. Apparently Imprint did a good set, but it's quite pricey in Blu-ray only. I did spot that on Amazon for about probably £40-50. Oh, I must admit, I'm tempted. I'm very, very tempted. If that's all we can get, and I didn't know about this until I read your comment there. If that's the only way that we can get it, I may be tempted in the new year to just order that and bite the bullet and see what it's like. But yeah, Ran is Kurosawa's retelling of King Lear. Great 4K of that. I'd heard of it. I remember seeing that movie on the. I think it was one of the few sort of foreign movies that we had. God, my tooth is whistling something right, and I'm really starting to notice it now. I've been so busy with Criterion stuff. Thankfully, they stopped releasing on Tuesday, so I can have a break for a few weeks. I haven't had or encountered those remarks either. We were talking about trolls. Neither have I, Steve, and I wouldn't want them, and I wouldn't tolerate them. I would read it. And then I would just delete it. I would not get into any sort of a conversation or altercation with these people, because they've got the IQs of fucking daffodils. Anybody can sit behind a keyboard and just type caustic, nasty, spiteful remarks. Anybody can do it. It's not clever. So no, I would not entertain getting into any sort of a conversation with these idiots. Where are we? Oh, you said, I think it might be because I'm catering to a niche audience. Possibly, although there is occasionally some crossover. I expect my next video, which is on Pinocchio, will get more attention. It won't get that kind of attention, Steve, I guarantee you. These people's sort of brains are so small, they would not even bother tuning into a channel like yours or mine. I can't even give them any more airtime. Thanks for the comments, Steve. Much appreciated. Mark. Unlike others, I didn't make notes, so by the end of it, I'd forgotten what you'd said at the start. Welcome to my world. Oh, God. But as always, great video, and thank you for keeping me entertained on this miserable Saturday morning. You are more than welcome, Mark. It's still... I'm still constantly surprised about how you lot just sit there and just listen to me bobbling on for hours on end. But I'm so flattered by it, and I do thank you all for it. So cheers for that, Mark. Guy, you said that is exactly why I've started making notes. Mark, you replied, I definitely need to start so I can start making some meaningful comments. They don't have to be meaningful comments, dude. Just comment. I'm happy with anything nowadays. Guy said, it's the way forward, mate. Mark replied, I even need to take notes on the half-hour ones. I could not do this in any way, shape or form without notes. I've got them on the screen here to the side of me. I've also got notes for when I'm talking about this week's episode of Funny Geeky Showing and some other bits and pieces that I'll read from later on. Couldn't do it without notes. My memory just wouldn't... I just wouldn't remember 90% of what I was going to talk about. So without this thing in front of me and these things, you wouldn't have a programme to watch, I'll tell you now. So, Chris. Oh God, you really went for it. Great vid, sir. They always are. Thanks, Chris. And glad my Advent filmathon is going down well. I have 4K movies coming up, so reviews will be filled out more. Looking forward to those. I always tend, before I purchase a 4K, to go online and have a look at reviews of them, basically to check the quality of them, to see what extras are going to be on there. You talking about When a Stranger Calls literally sent shivers down my spine. I may have to watch it again when Christmas is over. I saw it on the shelf last night and I thought, shall I or shan't? And I wasn't really in the mood for it. I was a little bit tired and I thought, I'm not in the mood to sit through a 1 hour 45 to 2 hour movie. So I ended up watching an episode of season 4 of Creep Show, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, I do get you. It's one that I would love to watch again. Obviously, it's never the same because you know the twist that comes within the first sort of 20 minutes. But the rest of it, I can't remember much about because it's been quite a while since I've actually watched it. So I do need to take it in. The same as you. I also enjoyed Last Night in Soho. Such a good storyline with a great twist, which I didn't guess straight away. I didn't guess it at all. I knew there was something coming because I'd read various reviews of it, spoiler-free reviews that basically said you'll die when you see the end of it. And it did come as a surprise, and it came as even more of a surprise when you saw actually who it came from. So yeah, I really enjoyed that movie, and I'm still possibly looking at purchasing it on 4K. I was just so impressed with it, and Edgar Wright did a smashing job of that. Let's see, Die Hard 4K is definitely the best it's ever looked. But now I'm balls deep, oh hold on, into 4K watching. And there are definitely movies made before Die Hard that have looked better. I recommend 4K over Blu-ray as there's definitely improvement. It's not just a 4K leader overall for me. I watched Die Hard on one of the Sky channels a couple of nights ago, or I saw the first sort of 40 minutes of it before I fell asleep. What a cracking movie. I always remember that one being a movie that I avoided for many years. I think it was probably the mid-2000s before, was it mid-90s? Mid-90s, before I finally got round to having a watch of it, and I watched it and thought, bloody hell, that was really good. I think it was Bruce Willis that put me off. I'd only ever seen him in the occasional episode of Moonlighting, so I thought, no, not really for me. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. A bit disappointed to find that the 4K is not quite what you thought it would be. I will be holding off on that. I think I would rather actually just grab a 4K box set because I've only ever seen Die Hard 1 and 2. I've not seen the third one, which is the one with Jeremy Irons. I've not seen the fourth. Is there a fifth one? Can't remember. But I do need a Die Hard Blu-ray box set, so I probably will go for Blu-ray over 4K on that one. You were talking about your intros. I think I was asking where you got them from. The intros are actually from YouTube. Companies giving away free samples, so I take advantage of that. All done from my phone. I use Snaptube to download videos from YouTube, then Power Director on my phone. I do a PC version too, but never got around to using it. I do need to look at my titles, not the curtains. That I'm perfectly happy with all of that, but like the countdown thing and the thanks for watching thing at the end, I could really do with some new ones. So I'm going to have a look at that. And I shall try Snaptube and let you know how I get on with it. A haunted swimming pool is definitely an original idea. I love a good Blumhouse movie, and James Wan, when he's on point, is one of the best. We were talking about Night Swim, and it does look amazing. I have to confess, I will be taking a look at that one. So yeah, definitely. I'm so glad that the classic Christmas songs are filling up the top spots in the charts this year. I've attached the current standing. I'm just hoping it's one of them. I'm a bit of a traditionalist with Christmas songs as well. I can't stand anything newer than about 1990. And Mariah Carey, I can't stand that woman. Absolutely hate it. And the song, yes, the song isn't bad. I just can't stand her. So I mean, that list included Shakin' Stevens, Brenda Lee, Bobby Vinton, and obviously Wham! Last Christmas. All absolute total Christmas classics. Ed Sheeran, Noah Kamen, Jack Harlow. Never heard of the last two. I can't think of anything more unfestive than Ed Sheeran. I don't know why. Maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe I'm just old and set in my ways, but I like, as far as Christmas songs go, the old crooners. You got Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, Dean Martin, all that kind of thing. And if we're talking sort of contemporary-ish Christmas songs, obviously the ones from the 70s, Slade, Wizard, Mud, David Essex. Early 80s, no further than that. So mentioning artists that are around today, it is pointless because I just don't know them and I don't like them. So there. I'm definitely up for seeing Wonka. I love the original and all the lore around it. Gene Hackman would have made it an entirely different film, but still definitely watchable. But Wilder did a fantastic, unforgettable performance. I think I read somewhere, didn't I, that Gene Hackman had been offered the role of Wonka in the 1971 version. I couldn't even imagine it. When I read it, I thought, oh, that doesn't sound right. But then we're so used to Gene Wilder, it wouldn't seem right, would it? So, yeah, I get you on that one. I shall definitely be enjoying the new Mad Max in 4K when it comes out. I don't doubt that for a second. And the cinema experience of Fury Road was immense. Maybe I'd have got more out of it on the big screen. I don't know. But as I say, I will definitely be taking that one in again at some point soon. Flash Gordon is a phenomenon and it's a pleasure on 4K. Now that's one I've got on Blu-ray, as I think I showed it off last week. Is the 4K a lot better than the Blu-ray? You can tell me this. And if it is, there's a very good chance I'll do a bin it or keep it on the original Flash Gordon on the Blu-ray when I actually purchase the 4K. So let me know what it's like on that one. I'd be very curious on that. I will revisit soon to listen to Queen's soundtrack on one of my new audio setups. Gutted no Atmos, but heard it's still a treat with the DTS HD 5.1 master audio that was reworked for the 4K. Whoosh, straight over my head. Bit of a technophobe nowadays, I'm afraid. I recently watched the pilot of The Fall Guy. I then grabbed the first season and hope to watch it soon. Here's to the next bit. Cheers, Chris. Much appreciated. Yeah, The Fall Guy. Obviously, Ryan Gosling's movie comes out next year. I'm willing to bet, after I've watched a few episodes of the original series, that that movie will not resemble the series one little bit. I just don't think it will. But I really fancied the idea of taking a look at that, which is why I grabbed the first season. And there's a very good possibility I will grab the second season before I've even watched the first one, seeing as they are the only two seasons available on that. So thanks for that again, Chris. Guy, lovely vid, mate. I have made notes. Here we go. I agree with you about Christmas. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are the best. The rest is just good chill time. A council estate breakfast is tea and a ciggy. Really? I guess you missed that in the picture. I must have missed that. Air fryers, I'll do a separate post. Look forward to that one. Star Wars Holiday Special, awful, but it did have the debut of Boba Fett, albeit in animated form. I really do need to take a look at this ahead of Christmas. I will dig it out and take a look and see whether it's as awful as you say it is. Let's see. Railway Children, shit. Guy, no it isn't. The Railway Children is an absolute stone cold Christmas bank holiday classic. No, no, can't agree with you on that one. EastEnders shite these days. Can't agree with that one either. I'm really enjoying EastEnders at the moment. Wonka. I'll wait till it's on Sky. You were thinking of Gene Wilder. You're right, I was. I was hesitating over the who played him. Um, your 80s sci-fi selection. The only one I've seen is Flight of the Navigator. Brilliant film. I really enjoyed that. I didn't catch up with it, well, for the first time till I think it was either earlier this year or late last year. And it was another one that I wished I'd caught up with earlier, but I didn't. So, The Fall Guy, finally get that EastEnders, not EastEnders, Equalizer box set next. I will do one at a time, guy. Let me get through The Fall Guy first before I start thinking of anything else. I know what you're going to say next. Airwolf, Life on Mars, blah 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 blah. I will get round to these things, I promise you. Jason P. Oh, your usual epic. Great vid, mate. Thanks, Jace. Yep, as soon as Boxing Day's done, Christmas is over for us. The tree comes down on the 27th and get things back to normal before the new year. I've said that this year, from 27th to about the 5th of January, we're doing bugger all. We're going into our own lockdown. I don't blame you, mate. Cooking a turkey on the 27th as we are out Christmas Day and Boxing Day for dinner. So it'll be turkey sarnies for a week. Yeah, I'm afraid I'll be going down that route as well. Yeah, I know what's for lunch at work for about the next week after Christmas Day. Air fryer. If you can cook it in an oven on a tray and it can fit in your air fryer, then you can cook it in your air fryer. Chips, pies, baked spuds, chicken legs or thighs. Sorry, there's nothing funny about chicken legs. Fish fingers, probably many more. There's plenty of Facebook pages on what people are cooking in them, which you kindly sent to me, and I've actually joined that one. Our Ninja was £180 instead of 250. Well, so the wife said anyway. Oh, right, okay. I am definitely going to get one, probably in the new year. I am definitely going to get one. I need to clean my health up a little bit, and I reckon an air fryer will help loads with that. P.S. The Christmas Radio Times is out today. Oh, we're talking about this earlier. You picked up a copy for your dad. Got a copy of TV Choice from my mum. They're like different mags. And I got my What's on TV guide. The newsagent must have thought I was a weirdo. And this year is crappier than ever for TV. That absolutely does not surprise me one little bit. When I first read that, I thought, shall I nip round to Metro? It's actually the Co-op, but I still call it Metro now. And pick a copy up. And I thought, do you know what? I'm actually in no hurry. I've got to pick a copy up for my mother. But I can do it on the way home from work tomorrow. There's absolutely no reason to go dashing round there to pick it up. Decades ago, that's exactly what I would have done. As soon as I'd have found out it was in it, it would straight out, grab a copy, sit there for 2 hours circling everything that I wanted to watch. Not now. EastEnders. I think it's Theo now. Can't be Nish or Ravi because they've got to have some good storylines lined up for 2024, especially with Eve. I think Eve is going to come back over Christmas. That is what I think. I think she's just going to show up and she's going to blow the square apart. That's what I think. Won't be Jack because he is going to have an affair with Stacey. Yeah, we were watching it this week and I said, is this going where I think it's going? He says, yeah, I think so. So got to be Theo or Dean Wicks. Not long to wait now. Yeah, I always look forward to the Christmas edition of EastEnders, always. It's one of the few that I will actually watch at the time when it's on, rather than sort of Sky Plusing it and watching it the following day. So yeah, looking forward to that. Loving your non-Christmas movie advents, by the way. Loving these movies that you're picking. So many memories coming back. Let's see. You put about Swiss Family Robinson. Now, I haven't seen this. Films I grew up with. Oh, there we go. Great Disney movie. One of my favourites growing up. When I watched it on DVD, there was some bits I couldn't remember seeing before. One of them being the snake scene. Now, this scene in particular, I thought was well done. I thought, that's a bloody good, well-trained snake. CGI wasn't around at the time, which it wasn't. This would have been about 1960. And you just knew it wasn't rubber. When I read a few facts on it, it said the snake got out of control, but they kept filming and left the scene in. So maybe it was edited for a TV showing. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either nowadays. I did think it looked really good. You've actually made me want to watch this. This is one of the few Disney movies that I didn't see growing up, and I've never seen. So I'm assuming it's going to be on Disney Plus. So I'm going to take a look at that and see what I think. John Mills, you can't actually go wrong with John Mills. I believe he's in it, plays the father. So yeah, I will be taking a look at that. Right, time for a quick break. I'll be back in a few seconds with some more stuff. Back shortly. And we're back. Welcome to part two with your host, Jed Clampett. I'll start with a track from my latest CD, Dueling Banjos. Ding, 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 ding. I'm trying to get all these in before you lot start. I can't wait to see what pictures and memes you lot come up with for this. I dread to think. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Right. The latest episode of Honey Geeky's showing dropped on Wednesday. I'm not one behind guy, I'm up to date, dude. Action movies. Really enjoyed it as per usual. Some interesting choices from the folks on your comments on the last one that you did, 80s sci-fi. A lot of these, obviously I've not seen, but a couple of them I'd never even heard of. The Ice Pirates. I seem to remember seeing that one on the video shelf at some point. Outlander. Is that anything to do with Highlander? Is it anything to do with the TV series that's running at the moment? If it's 80s sci-fi, I wouldn't have thought so. Galaxy of Terror. I saw this a long, long time ago. This is one of... not Larry Hagman. What's his name? I can't remember his name, that director. He does exploitation films like Roger Corman. I know who I mean. Yeah, I saw that many years ago and actually really, really enjoyed it. It was classed as one of the a very cheaply made Alien rip-off, which I guess it was, but still bloody entertaining. Larry Cohen, is it Larry Cohen? Yeah, that's the one. Eliminators. I think I can see the VHS sleeve art in my head. I'm not sure. I need to check that one out. TerraVision. I've heard of it. Callie, you saw this at age 11. That would explain a lot. I don't get what this thing is. There's a lot of people nowadays. Well, was it Guy that says he saw Straw Dogs at 7? Fucking hell. That must have been a baptism of fire for you. I never watched anything really before I was supposed to see it. I don't know whether it's just my upbringing or what. But if I'd have seen something like TerraVision at age 11, I think I'd have been pretty much scarred for life. Like The Exorcist, a lot of people saw that way before they should have done, and that would absolutely have traumatized me. I'm fairly sure of it if I'd have seen it any earlier than I was supposed to have seen it. So yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars. One that I definitely do want to watch. I listened to a podcast on this one just a few days ago. I checked out the trailer and thought, yeah, that's definitely me. That's one I want to take a look at. Krull. Saw that at the cinema when it first came out. There'd been about 83, something like that. Really, really good. Really enjoyed that one. Transformers the movie. What the hell's that? I'm kidding. I know it. That's the animated feature-length movie of the cartoon TV series, which I've never seen, and I've never seen a Transformers movie ever. It's one I wouldn't mind taking a look at some point, but I'm in no great hurry to do that. Let's see. Right, on to action. 80s movies. Interesting choices. Let's see. Number one, well, Callie, I'll go through Callie's first. Number one, and these were in no particular order, the Blues Brothers. Interesting choice. Like you, I would have thought that more of a sort of comedy musical with a bit of action, but you can't deny that final car chase, which is pretty much the final half hour of the movie, is the stuff of legend. God knows how many cars and buildings and stuff were destroyed just making that scene, but a cracking choice. Number two, K9. Never seen it. This is James Belushi, isn't it? I've never seen it. I've always sort of shied away from movies to do with dogs and stuff like that. I did watch one not too long back with, what's his name? It was called Dog, and it starred the man who played a stripper, Magic Mike. Channing Tatum. And I thought that was all right. That actually wasn't bad. But I've not seen K9, and I've not seen Turner and Hooch either. Scarface. Obviously, I've seen Scarface. Again, saw that at the pictures. Would have been about 83. Shocked to hell by how violent it was. And it kicked off within the first sort of 15 minutes with that chainsaw murder in the shower. Bloody hell. But really, really good. I've seen it quite a few times and absolutely love it. It's one of those movies that when you mention Scarface to younger people, they've all heard of it and most of them have seen it, even though it was sort of released 20, 30 years before they were even around. And it always surprises me. It's gained a real cult following over the last few years. Highlander. Oh my God. I've never seen Highlander. I'm sorry, I've never seen Highlander. I know it's a classic. It's Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert, I believe he prefers to be called now, not Lambert. I've never seen Highlander. I need to put that one right. Jumping Jack Flash, absolutely brilliant. Whoopi Goldberg at her absolute best. I think that's where she peaked. I wouldn't say it went downhill from there, but I don't think anything came close to that one. And as you say, it was one of the few movies at the time that dealt with sort of computers and chat rooms way ahead of, I think it had only just pretty much started because this was about 1986. So computers weren't what you would class as readily available. So yeah, good choices, Callie. Guy, Raiders of the Lost Ark. How can you not include Raiders of the Lost Ark on an 80s action thing? I loved the original trilogy. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull I did not like at all when I first saw it. I watched it again probably about 3 months ago. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm having trouble with my THs. You probably pick it up on this. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did the first time round. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I think I would, definitely. And I'm looking forward to watching Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny when I get that for Christmas. I'd better get it for Christmas. If I don't get it, I'll be straight on Amazon on Boxing Day and I shall be ordering it. So yeah, cracking choice there. 48 Hours. What a movie. I remember going to see this again at Burton Odeon, about 1982 this would have been. And the first thing that struck me was the amount of swearing that was in it. The violence was not overly bad, but the amount of swearing, I don't think I'd ever heard a movie with that much bad language in it. So, but a cracking movie, and what a partnership. Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. I don't think, apart from Beverly Hills Cop, I don't think Eddie Murphy ever bettered that one. I'm not even sure 48 Hours later, was it 48 more hours or another 48 hours? I don't think that was as good as that one. What I've got here. Yeah, I mean, Walter Hill. That's another guy who's... I wouldn't mind doing a season of his films, including The Warriors. He's made quite a few. I think one called Midnight Run with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro that I definitely wouldn't mind taking a look at. But I need to have a look at his filmography, and I'm fairly sure there's going to be quite a few on there that I've not seen. Southern Comfort, that was a classic of his. Along the lines of Deliverance, funnily enough. So, yeah, good choice, mate. Cannonball Run 1 and 2, loved them. Absolutely love those movies. I've seen them both quite a few times. I'm dangerously close to ordering them both on Blu-ray, even though I believe they're on Prime or Disney Plus. I can't remember which it is, but I definitely would like to take a look at those. I don't remember the Coked Up Monkey. For some reason, I've seen those films quite a few times, and I don't remember a Coked Up Monkey, but I might be wrong. Were we talking about something else there? Was it... oh, it might have been Every Which Way But Loose. It's me. Even with notes, I fuck it up. American Ninja. I've never seen it. Is this Michael Dudikoff by any chance? And the only reason I know that is because I've got a mate who was into his movies. He made quite a few, didn't he? Sort of very Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee type thing. And it is one, if I remember right, it didn't get very good write-ups when it came out. I think Barry Norman hated it. He didn't like it at all. But it's one that I wouldn't mind a look at. And Cobra. No, I haven't seen it. Believe it or not. It's one of those movies that I've seen the first half hour many, many times, but I've either usually fallen asleep or something else is on that I want to take a look at. So I've never actually seen Cobra, but I will be putting that right because I got a Stallone box set fairly recently, which has got Cobra, Demolition Man, and 2 or 3 others that I wouldn't mind taking a look at. Got it for a good price as well. So yeah, good choices, Guy. What else are we talking about here? Sirens. It's a series that I saw on the Sci-Fi Channel but never watched, and you've kind of reignited my interest in that from what you mentioned yesterday. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it. And if it's on Disney Plus, I will definitely take a look at it. What else have I got here? Guy, you didn't like Fury Road. Yeah, join the club, mate. I think we both need to take another look at it and maybe reassess it. I don't know. As I say, I will always come back to the original, the first 3, definitely. Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary editions. This is going to be an unpopular opinion. Guy, I'm not liking them very much. Oh, Lord, I can't believe I just said that. I've only seen the first one, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right, but nothing more than that. It was nice to see David Tennant back. It was nice to see Catherine Tate back as Donna Noble. The story was all right. The special effects were amazing as always. It's just not traditional Who for me. Sounds awful, doesn't it? Given the choice between watching that and a Tom Baker adventure like Robots of Death or The Talons of Wen Chiang, something like that, or a Pertwee adventure. Yes, this is the son of Pertwee speaking. One of my dad's adventures. I would take those any day. Maybe I need to reassess this as well. I'm going to take a look at the second one, and I shall be watching the first episode of The New Doctor on Christmas Day. But it's just not me. The only Doctor out of the new ones that I really, really enjoyed was Christopher Eccleston. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed his season, and he only did the one, and then he disappeared. And then we had David Tennant. He had a few good stories. Matt Smith, it just got completely confusing for me. I didn't understand any of his episodes. I can't remember who was on after that. Who was it after that? I don't think I've seen that many after that. That pretty much proves what I've said. But I'm sorry, I'm not enjoying the new ones at the moment. But maybe that will change. You were also talking about movies that you love and everybody hates. Suggestion for you: do a show on that. I may beat you to that one actually, because I've got quite a few movies upstairs that I absolutely love that did not get very good reviews and generally people don't like. So that's my suggestion to you. Do a show on movies that you love and everybody hates, and then the following week flip it on its head and do movies that you hate but everybody else loves. That'd be interesting. What else have I got here? Just bear with me. Possibly do. Yes. I can't read my own. Look at this. I can't read my own bloody writing. I put here, the adjudicator is Pooh Face. Really? Yeah, I don't know why I wrote that down, but I did. So yeah, great episode, guys. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to the next one. What's it going to be next? 80s comedies or something? I don't know. Look forward to that. You had some good honourable mentions here as well. Red Heat. I haven't seen that for years. I have seen it a long time ago. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Is it Dolph Lundgren? Can't remember. I do remember Red Heat vaguely. Is James Belushi in that as well? The Deadpool, Clint Eastwood. Possibly, in my opinion, this is going to be another unpopular one, possibly the weakest of the Dirty Harry films. I've seen it once, thought it was all right, but nothing special. And Guy, you're watching season 3 of Hannibal. What's it like? I keep looking at this one and thinking, shall I invest in the box set? There's a box set of all 3 seasons for a fairly reasonable price. Is it traditional Hannibal Lecter, or are we going for a new spin on this? Let me know, because I'd be very curious. I may just invest in that box set if you confirm that it's actually all right. Right, that's all the notes on there. Just bear with me while I just scroll up on these ones. Scott, your November pickups. Some good movies, mate. The Odessa File. Saw that many years ago. I keep meaning to grab a Blu-ray copy of that cracking movie. Antichrist. Yeah, it's not. The guy you're thinking of is Lars von Trier. And that movie, I haven't seen it, and what I've read of it, I'm fairly sure that I would not get on with it. So I won't be watching that one. But the one you've got, if it's a 70s movie, I absolutely would be interested in taking a look at that. So when you've watched it, let us know what that's like, and I'll be looking that one up on Amazon at some point soon. Nightmare Beach. Now this is an Italian horror movie. I recognised the box art as soon as you held it up. I thought, I recognise that from years ago. It's quite an old one, isn't it? I'm going back, I think you're talking 80s. I do like the odd bit of Italian horror. So yeah, that's one that would probably interest me. Brimstone and I Saw the Devil. No chance of me watching either of those from what you've told me. Brimstone has got an animal cruelty scene in it, which I definitely would not get past. And you described I Saw the Devil as brutal as hell. So that's probably one that I won't bother with, either one. Did like the Duran Duran Live at the Hammersmith vinyl that you got there from 1982. I believe it's quite rare nowadays. I think you can still get it on Amazon, but I think it's quite expensive. But it's one that I wouldn't mind. I did look it up. There was also a DVD available of that, but I don't think that is available anymore. I think it's been deleted now. So yeah, great haul, mate. Look forward to the next one. Did anyone see those 70s ad posters that I put on? I think I put them on my personal profile. Just goes to show how different things were back in the 1970s. I've earmarked 2 Tipolette herbal cigarettes, right? Okay, now this is 1970s, don't forget. And the tagline for these things was, blow in her face and she'll follow you anywhere. I kid you not. I swear to you, that is the tagline. If you take a look on my own profile, you'll see these things. Blow in her face and she'll follow you anywhere. The other one was Dubonnet, which I believe is like a wine or something like that. And the tagline on that one is, you never know what's around the corner. I hardly dare say this. Some tall dark stranger may offer her a Dubonnet. If she accepts, he won't be a stranger for long. You'd never ever in a million years get away with anything like that now. But this is what it was like in the 70s. Anything went. And as soon as I saw those, I thought, I've got to post those. That they are going to make people laugh. They made me laugh. So yeah, if you've not seen them, just pop over to the profile and have a look. I guarantee there's about 3 or 4 others on there. I guarantee you'll smile. I think one of them's to do with burning bras or something. You'll love it. Dave Oliver, Savage Zombie Reviews, your Halloween Resurrection review. My God. Wow. You didn't like that one very much, did you, eh? I saw it a long time ago. I don't remember being overly impressed with it. I can't remember, to be honest. It's been so long. So I actually watched the trailer, and the trailer looked okay. And I thought, do you know what? I actually wouldn't mind a look at that. I did kind of remember bits of it, but not much. But my God, you hated it. 0 out of 5 Bloody hell, Dave, that's harsh. I mean, it's daft because the premise was good. It was a direct sequel, as you say, to Halloween H2O. And if you read up on Rotten Tomatoes, it says he's back for more. When a group of teens win a contest to spend a night in Michael Myers' childhood home to be broadcast live on the internet, they believe they are in for a little fun and some free publicity. But things go frightfully wrong and the game turns into a struggle to make it out of the house alive, or indeed to make it out of the movie alive. One of the quotes from a reviewer said, "The only thing this tired slasher flick may resurrect is nostalgia for when the genre was still fresh and scary." I need to watch this again, just to see whether it's as bad. As I said last week, with Halloween movies, I can only remember 1, 2, and number 3, Season of the Witch. Anything after that, 4 to 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever we got up to, I couldn't tell you the plot of any one single one. And every time I bump into one on the channels late at night, I will watch it, and it's like watching something that I've never seen before, even though I'm fairly sure that I have seen them. So they obviously didn't make very much of an impression on me. And I say, I don't remember being overly impressed with Halloween Resurrection, but I do need to take a fresh look at that one. So thanks for that, Dave. Gareth, your movie soundtrack quiz. I did really well on the last one. Can't remember what it was, but I did really well on it. Always Bond themes, that was it. I got a really good score on this one. I scored a big fat 0. Didn't get any of them. I listened to them and thought, nope, don't know that one. Nope. That's all it was. So sorry, Gareth, that was a big fat 0 from me on that one. Right, what I've got here. Oh, Thanksgiving 2. I heard yesterday that the sequel to the slasher flick Thanksgiving, which we haven't even seen over here yet, I think it's been released stateside, but we've not seen it yet. Thanksgiving 2 has been greenlit. Eli Roth is going to spend a year writing the script, and it will be released in, I think it's late 2025. Don't know. It's one that I wouldn't mind a look at, but Eli Roth, most of his films are really, really horrible. He did one called The Green Inferno. I don't think I got more than half an hour into that one. I think it was some kind of a remake or reboot of Cannibal Holocaust. He's really good at what he does, but his films are bloody brutal. So yeah, maybe I'll take a look at the first one when it finally comes over here, and I'll let you know what I think of that. Chris, you put a post on. There's a new documentary entitled Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. It's going to premiere, let me get this, at the 2024 Sundance Film Festival, which takes place in January next year. What they've written about it is never before seen home movies and personal archives reveal how Christopher Reeve went from unknown actor to iconic movie star as the ultimate screen superhero. Moving backward and forward in time, the filmmakers expertly weave together a dual narrative exploring the life-changing impact of two pivotal moments in Christopher Reeve's career, being cast in 1978's Superman and becoming paralysed in 1995. Yeah, I mean, as it said, decades before superheroes took over the cinemas, when they were literally everywhere, like now, Reeve made the world believe a man could fly, way before anybody else did. So I'm really definitely looking forward to this. I love a good documentary. And Christopher Reeve always seemed a really, really nice guy. Guy, you said this I want to see. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm hoping it gets some kind of a UK release, probably early part of next year. But these things, if they premiere at Sundance, they're normally sort of quite a way off from us seeing them. But I'm definitely up for that one. Callie, you put a post on the trailer for the Bob Marley biopic One Love. It looks brilliant. I do love a good music biopic. Enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody. Enjoyed what was the Elton John one called? Not Starman. God, I really should write these things down. The Elton John biopic I really enjoyed anyway. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. It looks really, really good. Not a massive fan of his music. I do like some of it, but I do enjoy a good true story. So yes, I will be taking a look at that one. We also had some interesting trailers. Um, Baghead. I watched the trailer for that this morning, and I have to say it looks good. Dave Oliver, you really need to take a look at this, Dave. It looks right up your street, and it does. Um, the write up on it is: a young woman inherits a rundown pub and discovers a dark secret within its basement. Baghead, a shape shifting creature that will let you speak to lost loved ones, but not without consequence. Watching the trailer to that, it definitely has talk to me vibes written all over it. Um, I think you can only consult with this creature for 2 minutes, and I believe that was pretty much the same premise as Talk to Me with the hand. Um, but it looks amazing. I will definitely take a look at it. I still need to look at Talk to Me, thinking about that. And the other one that dropped this week, Beaten to Death. I don't think I'm going to make it through this one. Aussie horror film. It is. Wolf Creek fans, this is the most brutal Australian horror film ever. Yeah, okay. Stranded in the middle of nowhere after surviving a brutal attack, a man must battle deranged country psychos and the harsh landscape to make it out alive. It looks horrible. It really does look nasty. And this one, Jason Kerr, this has got your name written all over it, Ginger Ninja, my friend. You need to watch that one, and you can let us know what it's like, because I don't think I've got the balls to sit in front of that one. It's not out yet, but from what I've seen of the trailer this morning, if you like your horror, brutal, nasty, violent, difficult to watch, wince-inducing, Beaten to Death is going to be right up your street. So let me know on that one, Jason, if you do get to watch that. And also, Dave, I get the feeling that's going to be one that you need to take a look at. It's called Beaten to Death. So, right, couple of quick reviews. First one, A Haunting in Venice. It's based on a book by Agatha Christie. Very, very entertaining. Kenneth Branagh as Hercule Poirot. 1 or 2 stars in there that I can't remember because I've not written down this. So, oh god, but really, really entertaining. It's a kind of a murder mystery with a supernatural twist to it. If you've not seen it, I would highly recommend it. I can think of worse ways to spend an hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, I would definitely take a look at that. It's called A Haunting in Venice. And I watched one on Friday night called Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. It sounds stupid. I really, really enjoyed this. It stars Simon Pegg as a parapsychologist who goes all over the country and all over the world investigating instances of paranormal activity. And he gets a letter from a lady in, I can't remember whether it's Scotland or Ireland, who claims that living in her barn is a talking mongoose who basically talks like a human being. So he goes over to investigate it. It's not quite what you think it's going to be. This mongoose is usually just off screen, or you see little flashes of it. The best bit of it for me was the conversation that Simon Pegg's character has with the mongoose when he gets locked in a jail cell. And the mongoose says to him, if you were small like me, you could squeeze through those bars. It's a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It's just a bit strange. As I say, this thing is just usually off camera, so you never actually get to see it right until the end. It's apparently based on a true story. So I'd be very interested to read up on it and just see what the actual facts are behind it. But Simon Pegg is superb in it. Simon Pegg is brilliant in everything that I've seen him in so far. Loved him in Shaun of the Dead, and the whole sort of trilogy. What is it? I saw him in one called Absolutely Anything just a few weeks ago. Really enjoyed him in that. Thought he was good. So yeah, if you get the chance to watch it, I think that's streaming on Prime. Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. interesting movie. So, right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back with another 10-15 minutes very shortly. Let's see, what have I got here? A few action movies that I would recommend on the back of that 80s action thing, and some bits and pieces that I bought. So I'll be back in a few seconds. See you shortly. And we're back. Oh, somebody suggested to me the other week. I ran out. Well, I thought I was starting to run out of ideas on what to talk about or what to do, and somebody suggested to me, Dave Lowe, maybe your top five sort of DVD, Blu-ray sleeves or collector's editions, that kind of thing. I've not forgotten about it, Dave. I just need to go through the collection and just pick out 5 or 6 that really sort of stand out. And I've got one right over here, but I'm not going to show it until I've got the rest of them sorted. It's actually a VHS, and a very, yeah, I would imagine it's quite rare now. I had it bought for me about 30 years ago. But I'll be showing that off when I've sorted the others out. So I've not forgotten about that one, Dave. And if any of you guys have got any ideas, as you know, different things that you want me to talk about, or maybe features that you would suggest, I am open to any suggestions. I'm not exactly running out of things because obviously I've got your comments to read, which pretty much take up sort of the first sort of third of the video, so which I'm really chuffed about. Every single weekend you do me proud with that. The thing drops at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and by 6 a.m. on Sunday I've got countless notes to sort of put together from comments that you've made, so thanks ever so much for that. But if you've got any suggestions as to what stuff that you would like me to talk about, or a different feature that you'd like me to start including, I'm not saying that I want to take it in a different direction, because I think you guys are pretty much happy with it exactly the way it is. But it wouldn't do any harm to introduce a couple of new bits and pieces into it. So put your thinking caps on, and if you come up with anything or think of something, I wish you'd do that. That'd be good. Just let me know. I'm open to all suggestions on that one. So, right, on the back of Callie and Guy's video on 80s action movies, I've sorted out a small selection of mine. Now, you'll have to forgive me, Guy. I think I've copied 2 or 3 of yours here, but these are ones that I've got. I had a little bit of trouble with this because I looked at a lot of my collection, and it pretty much shows that I'm not a massive fan of action movies. I have got some, but I've not got as many as I thought I'd got. It's like rom-coms. I've probably only got 2, maybe 3 in my whole collection, and I think action movies pretty much suffer the same thing. I've got lots of sort of sci-fi action, sort of action comedies and stuff like that, but pure action, not as many as I thought I'd got. The first one that I remember seeing, oh blimey, this would have been 1980. Again, I was astonished how violent this was. And in the foyer of the Odeon, God, I'm suffering with F's as well as TH's. In the foyer of the Odeon, it had a life-size stand-up figure, which I desperately wanted. I couldn't get it because somebody else had earmarked it, otherwise I'd have been walking home with this. And that is The Exterminator. Stars Robert Ginty, very much a Charles Bronson Death Wish kind of thing. He plays a Vietnam vet who comes back from Vietnam, tries to set up a normal life in New York with his buddy. His buddy is attacked, left for dead, and he decides to go after the people that did it, and also a lot of other people as well. It's a real good vigilante movie, extremely violent, but that was always one of my favourites. I really enjoyed that one. Now, before you all scream at me, I know that this is 70s, but I looked at it and I thought, I've got to include it. Bruce Lee, the master. I love all of his movies, and I'm still thinking about getting that Arrow box set, which I don't think I'm going to get now, actually, because it's probably sold out. But they are releasing all these movies individually on 4K. Again, I just need to know that they are actually worth getting, because the transfers on these Blu-rays is absolutely superb. But this is a nice little set. You've got the Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, and also Enter the Dragon is included in there. Enter the Dragon is one that I need to grab on 4K. I believe there's a 50th anniversary edition of that, which I do need to grab a hold of, even if I don't get the others. But yes, I know it's 1970s action, but I had to include that one. Guy, you included one of these, which I didn't actually agree with. I'm going to go for, let me just get this out of here if I can do it, Clint Eastwood. I've got the right one. Sudden Impact. Again, I was amazed how graphic this was, and I believe it got quite a bit of stick when it first came out for the levels of violence, which were through the roof in this one. But a really, really good Dirty Harry movie. The set I've got, Guy, I'm guessing this is the same one you've got, which includes them all. You've got the Deadpool, which is the one that I wasn't overly keen on, but again, maybe I need to take another look at that one. The Enforcer, Magnum Force, Dirty Harry, and of course Sudden Impact, which I've just shown you. So as 80s action go, I would say Sudden Impact over the Deadpool. Another one that you mentioned, I'm afraid I've gone for it as well, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, the Indiana Jones movies generally, all absolutely brilliant. The first 15 minutes of Raiders of the Lost Ark literally take your breath away. I remember seeing it again when it first came out, which had been about 1982, and like Mad Max, you sit through the first 15 minutes and you think, Christ, what the hell are they going to follow that up with? But they did. I love all of those movies. And finally, I don't know whether you mentioned these or not, I can't remember, but as far as I'm concerned, you can't do action movies and not have Bond. Now, this is my box set of all the Bond films up to, I believe Skyfall is the last one. But if we're talking 80s action, I would say you would be looking at For Your Eyes Only, Octopussy, A View to a Kill, License to Kill, any of those. I think as action movies go, I don't think you get much better than Bond. I've seen them all countless times. My favourite, as I've said before, is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is always an unpopular opinion because most people think it's crap. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm so disappointed that George Lazenby didn't do more Bond films, because I would have loved to have seen what he'd have done with the character over the space of time, like Sean Connery did, Roger Moore did. Not so much Timothy Dalton, he only did 2, but I thought his 2 movies were superb. But I'd have loved to have seen what George Lazenby did with the character as it moved on. But it wasn't to be. He quit after that one movie, and then Sean Connery came back for one last outing in Diamonds Are Forever. Right, what have I been buying this week? Let's see. I've had the latest issue of Total Film through, which I need to have a read. I mean, this has got, I'm fairly sure this has got, as they all have this month, a 2024 look at what's coming out next year. And you did ask me, Dave, Savage Zombie Reviews, Dave Oliver, you asked me what, well, not me, you asked everybody what horror movie we're looking forward to in 2024. I would say Baghead is one, and I'll have a look at the rest of them and let you know on that one. I'll make a note of coming back to that one. Right, some Blu-rays and DVDs here we got. Right, okay. First of all, Smokey and the Bandit 2. I bought Smokey and the Bandit on 4K a few weeks ago. And Jason, you put a post on saying that you were watching this one and another one back to back. And I thought, you know what, I haven't seen the second one since it first came out, and I think that was on CIC Video VHS way back when. But I love these movies, so I grabbed that one. This one I have never seen, but it was only, I think it was £5, so I thought, you know what, you might as well grab a copy. Smokey and the Bandit 3. Now, Burt Reynolds isn't in this. Who is in it? Jackie Gleason still plays Sheriff Buford T. Justice. Paul Williams, the little fella that's hanging around with it, he's in it. Jerry Reed, who played Enos, is it? With the dog. So I have no idea what it's about. It's a 15 certificate, so I'm guessing it's a little more raw than the first two movies. But I'm looking forward to watching this just to see what it's like and how it performs without Burt Reynolds. Because to me, Burt Reynolds is the bandit and that's it. But I'll see how I go with that one. And Jason, this is thanks to you again. Your Advent thing. It got me thinking of movies that I used to see again years ago, and I sort of went on Amazon and thought, you know what, I'm going to grab that. This one, I still remember coming home. It would have been about 1976, 77, from a Christmas holiday at a Pontins holiday camp in Prestatyn, which is now closed down, sadly. And this was on. I watched probably about half an hour of it and thought, I'll come back to that when it's on next. Obviously, we couldn't record it back then because it wasn't VHS. And I saw this on Amazon and thought, do you know what? I've never watched that all the way through. Wombling Free. I used to love the Wombles as a kid. Well, not so much as a kid. I think it was about 1973 or 4 when they came out. So yeah, I still would have been about 12, 13, something like that. But I used to love the Wombles. I had a couple of Wombles LPs because obviously they were chart toppers as well. And then this movie came out in 1974, and it stars, let me get this right, it doesn't say, oh it does, David Tomlinson, who played the father in Mary Poppins, Frances de la Tour, who was Miss Jones in Rising Damp, and Bonnie Langford, who was Violet Elizabeth Bott in Just William. She was also in EastEnders, played, I can't remember her character's name. Her son was Cush. You'll know this, Jason. Yeah, you'll know this. But she's in it. Never seen it all the way through, but I'm definitely going to be watching this over the Christmas period just to bring back memories of that holiday, basically. And the other one was this one. Now, I had to get this one second hand because it's no longer available. Digby, the biggest dog in the world. Again, I've never seen this, but I distinctly remember it coming to Burton Odeon, again, around about 1974, 75. Wanting to go to see it, but couldn't for one reason or another. It was screened a lot of the time over Christmases in the 70s and 80s. Never got to watch it. Again, while I was looking for this Wombling Free, or when I spotted Wombling Free, I saw this one and thought, you know what, I might as well grab that as well. So I'm looking forward to watching both of those over the festive period, most definitely. So, right, that's it. Well, you've ended up with another hour and 15-minute epic, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing any cartoons or memes or whatever, because I'm fairly sure you will have some, and you will be pretty relentless with it. I'm looking forward to it. So, thanks for joining me again. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. I'll be back with you again next week. We've literally got a week till Christmas. Blimey, where's it all gone? Just think, in a week and 2 days, it'll all be over. It'll all be done for another year. So, and then it'll be time to start Christmas shopping again. Believe it or not, I start in January. I've already got 3 or 4 in mind that I want to get for next Christmas, and I will be ordering them, and I will probably have Christmas bought and wrapped by the end of March at the outside. It'll be upstairs. I don't have to fucking think about Christmas until literally late December. So, and that's how organised I am. I haven't done it that way this year, and it's really backfired on me. But next year, I will literally have the whole thing done by the end of March, possibly sooner. How's that for organisation? So, right, as I say, thanks ever so much for joining me, guys. I'll be back with you about the same time next week. So take care, have a brilliant week, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Ta-da.